Look, before we begin, this is not a regular video. This isn't a review. This is just a rant, okay? So if you're coming for a review, then you can leave. Also, I have not played the game. But as you can tell by the tone of my voice being a little more harsh, I am not too happy about it. This game, oh boy. Like, to say that we haven't been, by we I mean Arkham fans, we haven't been looking forward to this game for a new Arkham game in years is insane, right? It's been like, what, 9 years since Arkham Knight released? We've been begging and pleading for another game. Maybe, I don't know, a Batman Beyond game, or one starring Red Hood, or maybe even a prequel game, or heck, a Justice League game. You know, that would be fun, because, well, there's been Easter eggs and references to the other members of the Justice League. Heck, I think that would be great. And I think Rocksteady agreed. So they gave us Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Before we begin, I must say I'm also a Arkham fan. I played Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, and I've even played Arkham Origins Blackgate, so you know I'm a hardcore fan. In fact, that was the first Arkham game I've ever played, Arkham Origins Blackgate, and I loved it. Honestly, I beat that game like 50 times. And then I played the, quote, actual Arkham games, and I love those even more. But, okay, enough stalling, let's talk about this dumb game. Look, I know this video has been kind of all over the place already, and we haven't even started, but that's how my mind is at the moment when I even think about this game. It goes all over the place. This game is such a mess that I can't, I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. I'm stuttering. But yeah, if you do like the game, I want to say that's fine, right? Good for you. Honestly, I want to like the game. I want to buy it and play it and enjoy it. But I know if I do buy it, A, I'll be supporting a studio that made this game, and B, I probably won't enjoy it. But okay, let's be fair here. Let's talk about the good stuff. Okay, so now let's get to the bad stuff. Let's talk about the graphics. Now, the graphics of this game, oh boy. Like, okay. Arkham Knight came out, what? 9-10 years ago. We'll just say 10 years for just basics right now. Came out like what, 10 years ago, and it looks 10 billion times better than this. It came out on the freaking Xbox One, and that looks 10 billion times better than this does. This released in 2024. Rocksteady, you literally have the keys to one of the best, you know, looking games in ever, really, and you do nothing with it. You just do this. Ugh. Gosh, it's giving me a headache. The texture detail is not great. It looks basic. The art style is not there. It's just basic. It feels uninspired. Because it probably was. It probably was a mandate by Warner Brothers. They probably said, hey, make a live service game or something because Fortnite. And they said, okay. And this is what we got. Okay. The gunplay is fine. I heard it can be fun, but it's very bare bones. It's just the, you know, regular gunplay, looter shooter stuff. And I've seen the melee combat looks stiff. Again, these are coming from the same people who made Free Flow Combat, the most legendary combat of gaming ever, and it looks stiff. I can't believe I'm saying that. Okay, enough stalling, let's talk about the story. Well, surprisingly in the story you kill the Justice League, no shock. Also, a defense for this game is that they're like, well, why ain't mad if they kill the Justice League? It's called Kill the Justice League in the game, and I'm like, well, no crap! I mean, anyone who bought this game thinking, oh, we don't kill the Justice League is an idiot, right? But that's not why people are mad. People are mad because, they're disrespectful. And I know it's a Suicide Squad, right? But the way they go about it is just so wrong. I would expect these guys to be at least a little respectful, but no. Literally, spoilers by the way, literally Captain Boomerang pees on Flash's corpse and then they make fun of his dong. Well, not make fun of it, but they're like, wow, you have a big dong. And it's just like, that's not funny. That's just juvenile. This game is full of that juvenile, has-been hotel humor where it's just like, sex is funny and swear words are funny. Are you laughing yet? Because I'm sure not. It feels super juvenile and basic. And unlike Has-Been Hotel, where at least the songs are good and I guess the story maybe, I don't know. There is some redeeming qualities for that show and whatever. There's no redeeming qualities for this. Oh yeah, let's talk about the wokeness. I hate using that word, but hey, we gotta talk about it. And I don't like getting political. I think I've said this multiple times before. But honestly, there's just sometimes we gotta call stuff out. Like literal propaganda. This was the writing was helped developed by a company known as Sweet Baby Inc. You might know them from Spider-Man 2. And basically, the studio is full of a bunch of diversity hires who went to college, I guess. I don't know. But they were only hired because because of who they sleep with, identify as, or what their skin color is, or their gender. So I bet you could tell how this is going. They're not there for talent, let's just say that. And of course, there's a bunch of political stuff shoved down your throat. And it's gotten to the point to where it's influenced the story. Like, for example, Deadshot is race swapped. And not even in the, oh, he's black now and we're not going to explain it way. Honestly, that would have been way better than what they said. Instead, they said that, oh, the other Deadshot from the Arkham games, yeah, he was a faker. Literally, they pulled a freaking Shadow the Hedgehog on us. He's a faker. He wasn't the real Shadow the Hedgehog. I am. It's just... it really reminds me of, like, those clone stories again from Shadow the Hedgehog and The Force Unleashed 2, except somehow even worse and lazier than that. Which, I mean, this clone stuff is interesting, but whatever. But this isn't a clone. This is the real deal. Like, that is so lazy. And then, speaking of Deadshot, there's an infamous scene in the game where they're frozen for some reason. I don't really even care. They're frozen, and Deadshot's like, don't touch me, Harley. Like, he tells her multiple times, and guess what? She touches him in the butt. Awesome. So that means touching without consent is okay as long as you're a woman. So, hear that, ladies. Touch every man you want because it's okay. But, of course, men, you can't do the same. The double standards are hilarious. You know these guys would definitely be freaking out if it was the other way around. And let's talk about Wonder Woman. I know we're jumping around here, but honestly, if Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't care, if Rocksteady doesn't care, then I don't care. Wonder Woman, the only female Justice League character in this game, gets an honorable death and isn't mind controlled. Honestly, if Sweet Baby Inc. wasn't behind this, I might not have thought anything of it, but since they are, they definitely had something to do with this. And also, she gets an honorary death, right? She doesn't get a stupid death and they don't make fun of her. They actually honor her and stuff, and she self-sacrifices. But of course, everyone else gets a lame death because male bad. And of course, these women are ugly. Now, of course, I'm not for, like, over-sexualization or whatever, right? That's cringe. But at the same time, Also, covering up and making your female characters ugly is even more cringe, honestly. But you know, I know someone's gonna say, "Oh, do you want sexy women in your video games? You're so sexist." It's like, no. But at the same time, I don't want like an ugly character, right? I want a beautiful looking woman, right? Because she's a woman, not an ugly character, right? I mean, I want to at least look at the characters. I mean, I want the characters that I look at the whole game to at least look nice. But I digress. So yeah, that's all the pandering in this game. Of course, there's your typical stuff, but we won't go into that. Okay, political segment over. I'm sorry I had to do that, but when duty calls, I mean, I'm not afraid to call it out. Okay, so let's talk about the character deaths, specifically the male superheroes, which Aquaman isn't a Justice League member, apparently. Let's start with the Flash. I already kind of mentioned his death. Yeah, he gets peed on. Okay, we already talked about that. Now let's talk about Green Lantern's death. I know we're jumping around here and it's getting a bit silly, but just hold on. Green Lantern, okay. He's a pretty cool character in my opinion, very underrated. You know, he can create anything using his willpower, you know, from his ring and all that. There's different lanterns. The mythos is pretty cool. Let's talk about the lore of the ring. So the ring works like kind of like Thor's hammer, where it kind of, you know, you have to be worthy and stuff. And well, yeah, just think of it as Thor's hammer. When you're not but instead of worthiness, it's willpower, specifically for the Green Lantern. The ring chooses you, right? That's the whole deal, right? And you know, he has willpower, and yeah. And I also assume when you're compromised, like if you get brain control, the ring will leave you. And of course, the whole lore is that the Justice League gets mind controlled by Brainiac. But okay, let's just pretend like he gets mind controlled and that's okay, okay? So we'll just say that lore inconsistency doesn't count, because I don't know. The Green Lantern's probably been mind controlled before, right? But then after they kill him, they take his ring off, or King Shark takes his ring off and then puts it on his own finger. What? You know how much this breaks the lore? Because A, after Green Lantern died, the ring would have flown away. And B, even if it didn't flown away, it still wouldn't have allowed itself to be put on his finger, and also it would have just flown away. So yeah, it breaks the lore. Even if King Shark does have willpower, obviously he didn't have enough willpower to be chosen, because after John Stewart dies, the lantern ring would have flown right on his finger, but obviously that's not what happened. So and well, it was just used as a lazy way to show the Suicide Squad breaking the shield. Also, the way they kill these characters are with contrivances. Basically, oh, this person made a device that can beat this character. Because obviously, these four losers could be beaten up by Batman in like one fight scene. So, yeah. They, of course, need these gadgets to beat these superheroes. Speaking of Batman, yeah, let's talk about him. I'm not gonna bring up Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, to use as a, you know, to use against this game, because A, that I don't want to give the haters any more reason not to, you know, just refute my arguments. But B, you know, I want to be respectful, and I want to be, you know, actually unique. So, Arkham Batman is probably one of my favorite interpretations of the character. I mean, I love Batman. Batman's my favorite hero. Batman is my favorite superhero, right? I don't know why I went country there. Batman's my favorite superhero. He's my favorite superhero. Like, I know a lot about him. I mean, I may not be the biggest fan in the world, but, you know, I love the character. And of course, Arkham Batman is one of my favorite interpretations. Like, the games really made me feel like Batman. And yeah, I really enjoy this version of Batman. And you can see where I'm going with this. Look, everyone and their grandmother knows this scene. Batman getting shot by Harley Quinn after he gets a stern lecture, which is kind of ironic because of Batman, Harley Quinn doesn't worship the Joker anymore. Like, literally, Batman has brought her out of her funk like billions of times. It should have been Deadshot, honestly, but yeah, I stand corrected, right? Apparently, whatever. Not only does it make no sense for Batman to get brainwashed like this, it should have been Batman in Wonder Woman's place. Batman should have killed Superman, or, well, gave him a weakness, right? Batman should have been the one who wasn't brainwashed, because out of everyone in the Justice League, he's probably dealt with the most amount of brain damage from fighting these guys. I mean, there's Scarecrow, there's Joker, trying to do it twice, really. And so, this doesn't make any sense to me. It just makes no sense. Again, Harley, why? It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm just disappointed, if anything. This Batman has survived so much, and yet his death scene is him getting shot at park bench. And I know they're gonna bring him back, but that doesn't make it any better. I'm just disappointed in Rocksteady. This video isn't meant to just be a hit piece on this game like a billion other videos. It's really just to tell you guys why I'm disappointed. It just really sucks for me, right? These guys have made great Batman games. They made great video games, and now look at them. They're a shell of their former selves, making crappy live service, always online games with a bad story. Man, their stories used to be really good. Or at least serviceable. At worst, serviceable, and at best, really good. But now they're just a shell of their former selves. Hopefully, this isn't the end, but honestly, as of right now, I will not be supporting their products. From now till hitherto forthwith. Alright, thank you for staying for my whole rambling there. Sorry about that. Sorry it was a whole ramble. Maybe it was incoherent. Maybe I was just blabbering on and you couldn't understand a word I said. I apologize. My next video or videos, whatever, will be more scripted. Again, this is another rant video. I just wanted to get my feelings on this game out in the open. I know this video is probably like the billionth video you've seen of this. And whatever. Right, you can call it lame or just an average video if you want to. You can, you know. But yeah. Thank you for stopping by though. And I will see you all later. Goodbye.